sincerity that was both heartbreaking and hilarious. They were trapped. Roper was coming. He was a man who measured his life's success in monthly rent checks. They fled to the pub, hiding in a corner booth, hoping the world might forget they existed. Chapter 5. The Financial Aid Fiasco. Desperation drove Jack to the one place he feared more than the pub bully, the college financial aid office. He sat across from a Mr. Travers, a man who seemed to have been carved out of gray stone. "I need a loan," Jack said, trying to summon the hardship look he'd practiced in the mirror. "My apartment was burgled. They took the rent." "You live with roommates?" Travers asked, peering over his spectacles. "To girls," Jack replied. "One's a florist, the other's a typist. They depend on me. I'm the man of the house, the protector, the hewer of wood." Travers paused, a strange glint in his eye. "You live with two girls in the same apartment at the same time?" "It's the 70s, Mr. Travers. We're very modern. We share everything: chores, expenses, the occasional existential crisis." The loan was almost his. He could see the check. But then came the question of his father's income. "My father earns $6,000 a year," Jack said. Travers sighed, pulling the check away. "Then you aren't a hardship case, Mr. Tripper. Your father is a man of means. You're on your own." Jack walked out, wondering how $6,000 a year made him the son of a tycoon. Chapter 6. The Dinner of Reconciliation. "Wait a minute," Stanley said, as the trio stood in the living room, bracing for the inevitable eviction notice. "You say something about the rent. You already paid it." The room went silent. "I came up to fix the sink yesterday," Stanley continued. There was an envelope that said rent on it sitting right there. Naturally, I took it. "Didn't you see the receipt I left?" "It was under the toaster." He pulled out a carbon copy. They had been robbed by their own landlord's unexpected efficiency. "So," Helen said, breaking the silence with a smile, "about that dinner invitation Stanley's buying. It's for the neighborly pleasure he's been talking about." "My idea," Stanley grumbled. "My money. As the trio followed the Ropers down to the local diner, Jack looked back at the apartment. It was a place of madness, of constant lies, of slamming doors and misunderstood glances. But as the sun finally set over the Santa Monica Pier, he knew there was no other place he'd rather be. "Come and knock on our door," Jack hummed to himself as they stepped into the cool night air. "What was that?" Jonna asked, glancing at him. "Nothing." Jack smiled, feeling the weight of the world lift. Just a feeling that as long as we're together, we're company enough. Chapter 7, The Shag Carpet Struggle. The high of the reconciliation dinner wore off quickly when faced with the harsh reality of home improvement. The couch, a beastly piece of furniture that Jonna had inherited from an aunt who clearly hated comfort, was currently in pieces in the center of the living room. If you hit one more nail that isn't your own, I'm calling a priest, Jack grumbled, nursing a bruised thumb. He was kneeling on the avocado green shag carpet, surrounded by upholstery tacks and frustration. "We agreed to do this, Jack," Jonna said, her voice strained as she pulled a heavy spring tight. "It's about making this place a home. A man of your stature should be able to handle a simple sofa repair." Jack sighed, grabbing a handful of tacks and stuffing them into his mouth, a technique he'd seen a professional use once. "A half-eye under Conroll," he muffled. "Don't swallow those." Chrissy shrieked from the kitchen. "The last thing we need is for you to be a human pincushion." The repair was going poorly. The fabric was too short, the springs were too strong, and Jack's patience was non-existent. Just as he was about to hammer the final tack into place, the doorbell rang. It was the frantic, staccato ring of someone who had either won the lottery or was being chased by a swarm of bees. It was Larry. "Jack, buddy, tell me you've got a beer and 5 minutes to hear about the greatest opportunity of our lives," Larry said, barging in before Jack could even swallow the tacks, which he did. Thankfully, with a glass of water Jean shoved into his hand. "No opportunities." "Larry," Jack choked out, "I'm busy building a death trap." It's not just an opportunity, it's a lifestyle, Larry continued, eyeing the disassembled couch. By the way, that thing looks like it lost a fight with a lawnmower. Listen, my cousin has a lead on some wholesale